This video will not have many views. Why? Because this is value packed and that's just how I want it. I don't want anyone just watching my videos. I want only the proper entrepreneurs in my viewer list. I just want the 1% of people who are actually eager to learn. And if you're here, that means you're one of them because you clicked on this video for a reason. And I'm assuming it's to learn how to make money. So pause this video now, get a pen, get a notebook, and let's get started. Success doesn't come quickly, and I'm sure that if you've been doing business for any amount of time now, you can understand that. Listen, and I'm even saying this as a kid who's made over $12,000. I'm pretty sure I've passed $13,000 now in the last couple of months from my faceless pages alone. But it wasn't always like this. I also spent years of my life trying to make money online without ever seeing success. And even now, I'm constantly working. It's currently like 1 a.m. for me, and I got school tomorrow. It was never easy, but looking back, those failures and sleepless nights were the best lessons I could have ever asked for because of the knowledge that I got. But why should you go through this as well when you have me to tell you exactly what I did wrong and how you can overcome it with ease? And that's what I'm going to do in this video. And I've saved an important tip at the end, so stay tuned and ensure that you don't miss it. Alright, so let's get into it. Now, when I first started, I had this mindset that hard work was the only way to be successful. So I poured everything into making my first product, which was an ebook at the time. I thought that if I worked harder than everyone else, then there was no way I could lose. I spent every single day writing, editing, designing, formatting, making sure that it looked perfect when I put it up. And after 2 weeks went by, I was exhausted, bro. But I was excited as well. I was 100% sure that this was going to be the start of my online success. I already had about 40,000 followers on that account. So why shouldn't I? Why wouldn't I be able to sell at least 100 copies or so of that ebook? But when I launched it, unfortunately, the harsh reality was that nothing happened. No sales, no excitement, no nothing, just silence. I remember refreshing my phone, checking my account, waiting for a notification. Nothing happened. I was waiting for hours and then days, and literally not a single sale came past. It was mind-boggling. My first ebook completely failed. Completely failed. And when I say failed, I mean 2 weeks of non-stop work, like 12 to 17 hours a day, which crushed me. This was on top of school as well. It was crazy at the time. All that effort, all of those sleepless nights, late nights, they ended up being for nothing, I thought. It was one of the lowest points of my journey. And even though I had so many followers, I still couldn't get a single person to buy one thing. Now, why is that? Well, here's the thing that I didn't understand back then, and that I'm going to give it to you right now. Success isn't about how hard you work. It's about working on the right things. Write that down right now. If you didn't get a pen or a notebook before, get it now. Write that down because it's important to understand. And I'm going to explain it in a second so you can understand it in bigger detail, greater detail. Now, I had put all my focus into one product, right? Onto that product. And I had no idea what I was actually doing. And it was getting to the point where I was just getting it done for the sake of getting it done, right? And I let my clouded and biased judgment let me perceive it as more valuable than it actually was because of how hard I worked on it. Quote that. Quote that. Write that down. Write that down. Quote that. That is a fire quote. If you don't understand it, get ChatGPT to break it down for you, right? You need to realize now, before you make the same exact mistakes that I made, that just because you worked hard on something doesn't make it conventionally valuable. If you paid for a pressure washing company to come clean your driveway, and after they were done, it looked the same, but they said they did their very best, would you be satisfied? Be honest. If someone spent years of their life trying to find a fucking rock and then they tried to sell it for you for like $10 million because it was worth that much to them, would you buy it? No. Because hard work doesn't equal value. Perception equals value, right? That's very important to understand. Write that down as well. Whatever people's perceptions are of something determines how valuable it is. That's why people boycott companies, right? Even though the products may remain unchanged, the perceptions tied to the company make the product less valuable. It's the feeling that is brought out as soon as the product or the company is being thought of by a consumer. A way I can help you to understand it is to think of a watch, right? Just a regular old watch has nothing special about it, not too familiar with watch brands or anything like that. Just think of a regular one if you're unsure. Think about how that makes you feel, or just a regular watch. Now I want you to think of a Rolex. What perceptions changed? What is different? The luxury, the comfortability? You may just say, well, it's more expensive. That's why I'm more inclined to it. Ask yourself, why can they charge that amount of money for a watch that does the exact same thing as a regular watch, right? It's not like you can tell the time faster, obviously. Well, it's because people like to flaunt and show off to others for attention because they know others want it too. Their perceptions on it is very positive, and people understand and recognize a Rolex not only as a watch, but an achievement as well. It's the same as Lamborghinis and Bugattis and other supercars, right? The goal is to make your product do the same. Create the perception that your product is valuable. Understand that that's what the people want. Even if it's not as serious or as expensive as a Rolex, right? I've got a little Rolex emoji. I don't know if it's a Rolex emoji, but I've got, damn, I've got a little emoji for a watch to make it look cooler. Understand how to make people want it, right? How they're gonna want your product, and that's something that is vital in the process of generating money. Not only with faceless content like that I'm teaching you right now, but in any aspect of marketing. Once I was able to understand this, I was finally able to have days regularly like this, right? You can see $384, $400, $312. These were daily, and these results were weekly. But yeah, you need to understand that, bro. Instead of grinding endlessly on a product, I focused on creating a unique concept and derived a cool product from that. I started taking action, making videos, growing pages, and getting attention. And within a week of doing that, I made my first dollar online, and I grew from there. And trust me, if I can do it, you can do it too, bro. I'm not special. I'm just a regular old kid, alright? So you can do it. Just have belief in yourself. Now, if there's anything that I want you to take away, it is these 3 main points. You have to make something that people actually want. Terrible products will get you no sales. It is so obvious, but people overlook it. People think that just because they worked hard on something means that people are going to buy it. It doesn't work like that. You need to make things that people actually do want. Number 2 is that hard work doesn't guarantee success. I've spoken about this a lot, so hopefully you really understand it. It only pays off if you're working on the right things, right? If you're training for a race and every single day you spend your time in the gym working your arms, how do you think that will fare for you? Do you reckon you're going to fucking run like the Flash because you can lift 100 kilos? No, you dummy. Obviously not. Maybe I can, but not you. Now, number 3, failure isn't the end. The ebook that flopped is what pushed me to discover faceless content, right? And that's exactly what eventually made me over $12,000 before I could even drive, right? Well, I guess I should change it to 13 because I'm kind of tough like that. But yeah. And that's an insane fact that is just true because failure didn't stop me and it won't stop you unless you're a bitch. Now here's the helpful tip that I kind of foreshadowed at the start of the video. But first, before I show you anything like that, I need you to like and subscribe the video because I want to get paid on YouTube as well. That'd be tough. Alright, so what goes here is, if you're struggling to come up with an idea, right, for a product to sell, don't be afraid to actually use ChatGPT. I know people are worried that it's going to give you like a stupid answer or like they just don't even try it for some reason. Use it as a tool to guide you, right? The main issue is when you use it for answers. You rely on it for answers. Treat it as a stepping stone, not a genie, right? Ask it, hey, I'm in this X niche. I'm in X niche. I'll write that down actually. So write this down. Hey, I am in X niche, in X business model, doing X. My target audience is X. So just figure out their age, their gender, their what they like, what they want to do. So if you're a fitness coach, you'll be my ideal client prospect, ICP, is a 21-year-old fat guy, right? You don't want someone who's buff, right? You know what I mean? So this is your target audience. What are some unique and smart content ideas? Give me 10 or 30, right? You can just, and then you can just scroll through the 30. Never steal it. Never steal the answers that it gives you, but make sure that you use it as a stepping stone so that you can create further heights, because ChatGPT doesn't have every fucking answer. ChatGPT just has the guidance, right? So if you're grinding right now and nothing's working, don't give up, right? Failure is a part of the process. I failed for years before I even got it right once. But when you take the lessons from your failure and you redirect your effort, that is when you genuinely grow. And if you want to see exactly how I went from a failed ebook to $12,000 with faceless content, I will be releasing a way to help you out very, very soon, like a mentorship. And in the meantime, you can go follow my Instagram and my TikTok, which is linked on my YouTube page. That if you just go to my page, you'll be able to see that. Check out my other free course that I posted not too long ago. It's a YouTube video as well. And I'll see you in the next one, bro. God bless. Let's go.